And she's a member of our fellowship, happens to be married to James here. If of all the places you could be today, this is the place, because Pam is going to tell you how to live a happy life. Right?
Thank you all for being a part of my wildest dreams. Okay. As a psychotherapist, people often ask me what is the secret to happiness, and I reply, there is more than one secret. There is not only more than one path, but happy people are usually doing several different things right. Happiness is a choice, but the choice is that you want it and are willing to work for it. You have to do the work just like you have to do the work for a happy relationship. To be happy, we need balance in several different areas of our life. Learning more about the traits of happy people is helpful, but you actually have to take some action. Keep in mind that happy is a feeling, so happy people are not always happy, and unhappy people can have happy feelings. We say people are happy if they're happy on a regular basis, but they are not at the same level of happiness day to day. COVID decreased overall happiness for a lot of people due to isolation, unwanted changes, relationship overload, lack of enjoyable activities, and worries about health. To train as a therapist, most studies are based on people in distress with depression, anxiety, or other disorders, but there are a few studies that have been done on self-reported happy people. In the fall, I taught the science of happy living at Ollie. It focused primarily on PERMA, which is a model of well-being that was developed in 2012 by Dr. Martin Seligman, who is considered a pioneer of positive psychology. It's an acronym that stands for positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishments. Research has shown significant positive associations between each of the PERMA components and physical health, vitality, job satisfaction, life satisfaction, and commitment, and it is a better predictor of psychological distress than previous reports of distress. This means that working proactively on the components of PERMA not only increase aspects of well-being, but also decrease psychological distress. A few years later, mindfulness and embodiment were added by Megan Gilmore, and there's a question called PERMA plus me that measured happiness in the 7 categories. In the class that I taught at Ollie, I handed out the PERMA plus me questionnaire on the first day, and I repeated it in the last class, the 8th class. After I repeated it at the end of the class, all but one had improved. They said they had improved, but they were being more honest the second time. And other members agreed with that and added that they also understood the questions better the second time. I'll now go over the 7 categories a little deeper. Positive emotion. Emotions are an important part of our well-being. They can range from negative to positive and range from a high arousal or intensity to a lower arousal, like being excited versus being calm. For positive emotion, the PERMA profile measures tendency toward feeling contentment and joy. For negative emotion, it measures feeling sad, anxious, or angry. Being positive and increasing positive input can increase happiness. If you find that you cannot be positive about a situation, focus on being less negative. Use words like disappointed, unfortunate, that's too bad, rather than it's awful, terrible, or I hate it. When using negative words, ask yourself, are you exaggerating or overreacting? Try to use a negative word that is honest but appropriate level of intensity. It may help to rate the event first and then try to determine which feeling is relative. Engagement refers to being fully absorbed, interested, and involved in an activity or the world. Very high levels of engagement are known as a state of flow, in which you are so completely absorbed in an activity that you lose your sense of time. Flow is a state of optimal engagement where you experience a balance between your skills and the challenge of the task. Flow can occur when you are doing something you love that matches your strengths but requires attention and effort. Savoring is the act of stepping outside of an experience to review and appreciate it. It intensifies and lengthens the positive emotion that come with doing things you love. Practice the art of savoring by picking one experience to truly savor each day. It could be a nice shower, delicious meal, a walk on the beach. When you take part in this savored experience, be sure to practice common techniques that enhance savoring. These include sharing the experience with another person, thinking about how lucky you are to enjoy this experience, or keeping a souvenir or photo of the activity. Make sure you stay in the present moment when you're savoring. Relationships refer to feeling loved, supportive, and valued by others. Having positive relationships is an important part in life, feeling good and going well. Other people do matter. We all need alone time and social time, and we do not need the same amount. But listen to yourself to feel what you are needing. Also, avoid people that usually make you feel worse, as negative relationships decrease happiness. Practicing the 5 love languages, even with friends, helps build relationships. The 5 love languages are words of affirmation, gifts, acts of service, quality time, and physical touch. All of these are important, but each of us has a primary love language that speaks more deeply than the others. Discovering each other's language and speaking it is a good way to improve and maintain relationships. Keep in mind, it is really rare for unhappy people to be in happy relationships. I'll repeat that. It's really rare for unhappy people to be in happy relationships. So it's best to work on yourself first. Meaning refers to having a sense of purpose in your life, a direction where you're going, feeling that life is valuable and worth living, or connecting to something greater than ourselves, such as religious faith, a charity, or a personal meaningful goal. Meaning provides a sense that life matters. A sense of meaning is guided by our personal values and priorities, and people who report having purpose in life live longer and have greater life satisfaction and fewer health problems. Having a purpose helps individuals focus on what's really important in the face of challenge or adversity. In other words, know your values and follow them. Accomplishment can be objective, marked by honors and awards, but feelings of mastery and achievement are also important, even if you're the only one that knows. It involves working toward and reaching goals and feeling able to complete tasks and daily responsibilities. Working towards accomplishments involves risk-taking. Stay away from perfectionism and focus on improvement. Learn to tolerate some failures. No one can take away your past accomplishments. They don't come and take away Olympic gold medals or diplomas, even if you can no longer do whatever enabled you to get them in the first place. We often need to break down our goals into smaller tasks, even tiny ones. I call these micro movements, and they're very small tasks toward a goal that take between 5 seconds and 5 minutes to do. Often, getting started is the hardest part, and it can be easier to get started if you're not committing to a large task. Mindfulness involves focusing your awareness on the present moment. It means paying attention to your sensations, feelings, thoughts, and environment in the here and now with an attitude of acceptance. Since some of the potential benefits of mindfulness include lowering stress, decreasing depression, improving memory, and strengthening your relationships. Keep in mind that we are born mindful. Children change feelings often and suddenly based on what's just happened. They do not get stuck in the past or worry about the future as much as adults. Remember to be flexible because life is uncertain. Be true to yourself because acting differently than how you're feeling takes a toll. Embodiment is a concept that refers to the connection between the mind and the body. It means that our thoughts, feelings, and our actions are influenced by our physical sensations and interactions with the environment. Our physical and mental health are intertwined. We know that aches and pains affect our mood as well as what our senses are experiencing. We know we are happier in a pleasant environment than a dirty, stinky, noisy one. Embodiment practice can help you connect with your true essence, your intuition, or your higher power. It's not just a theoretical concept, but a way of living and experiencing the world. You can access more of your potential, express yours authentically, and enjoy life more fully. Embodiment is not just about avoiding or reducing physical pain or discomfort, but about cultivating and amplifying physical pleasure and joy. All of the different aspects of happiness we are talking about today increase endorphins that increase happiness. Keep in mind, to increase happiness, it is better to work on the areas that are weaker, although the tendency is to do more of what you're already good at. But doing that does not improve the balance of your happy traits, and being in balance is part of it. Too much of a good thing at the expense of other good things can be a bad thing. I did create a happiness playlist on Spotify, and if you search, let's see, the name of it's Happiness, and I think on there it says Pam Main Johnson. But if you want a link to it or more information about anything that I've talked about today, or you want a copy of the questionnaire, you can email me at pjgalveston@gmail.com. My email is the same as the church, except for PJ instead of UU. One thing that they don't mention that I think is very important is humor. It is helpful for your mood and beneficial to relationships. I feel sense of humor is a major factor in my mostly happy, almost 20-year marriage. Try to see the humor in things. It can really lessen tension and nervousness. I mean, despite the high cost of living, it's still quite popular. And I'll just leave you with one final thought to ponder. Isn't it wonderful that wrinkles don't hurt?